Paul George may be the ideal modern basketball player. He's got no real weaknesses. He's 6'8", athletic, got elite defense, has a crazy bag on offense, and he's one of the smoothest players in the league. He's had an interesting career with plenty of ups and downs. So today, we go back to where it all started.
In the 2010 NBA Draft, the Indiana Pacers select Paul George of Fresno State University.
PG's journey began in Orlando at the Summer League. Much different to today's Summer League, it was close to an empty gym. He had fairly good numbers, but struggled to shoot the ball, especially from 3 with only 11%. We saw glimpses of what he became, great defense and smooth with the ball. He came up big late in this game on the defensive end getting a stop. And to make it even sweeter, he went down the other end and got an and one. And that's how he got his nickname Playoff. Some noticeable players that went before him in his draft was John Wall with the first pick, DeMarcus Cousins 5th and Gordon Hayward 9th. I think it's safe to say if we had a redraft he'd be number 1. In Indiana he was joining a 25 point per game scorer in Danny Granger, who was a bucket at the time. But that's all Indiana really had. And that showed with them only winning 32 games. Paul George's rookie season was alright, averaging 8, 4 and 1 in 20 minutes per game, but the Pacers were still struggling, until they fired their coach and hired Frank Vogel. PG really took off in his 3rd year, becoming more confident and starting to shine and reach his potential. He won Most Improved Player, made his first All-Star game, was 3rd team All-NBA and All-Defensive 2nd team. Leading the Pacers to 49 wins. At the time, who would have thought a 22-year-old Paul George would duel with league's MVP LeBron James and take the stacked Heat team to 7? And to be fair, he did a pretty good job. He had 25 plus in 4 of the 7 games. Just falling short, the Pacers and Paul George came back better to win 56 games. In their 47-year history, they've only had a better record once. They matched up against Miami in the conference finals again, where another Paul George duel was on our hands. And again, it didn't disappoint. Despite the success, the Pacers fell short again in 6 games. Paul George and the Pacers were reaching their potential and close to one of the best teams in the league. But in that off-season, their high would drastically come crashing down. PG will get a major setback. In a USA scrimmage for FIBA, he broke his leg, which was one of the nastiest injuries to watch.
Moments ago, Paul George, we're not going to show it to you again, folks. It was, quite frankly, very, it was almost gruesome.
Through the adversity, 8 months later, he returned to the court.
A chance now for Paul George to re-enter.
It was a wholesome moment for all NBA fans. And not only did he return to his level of play,
here's Paul George, his first shot.
He continued to get better. Although the team went backwards, the team was completely different from before his injury to after. They were served 2 first-round exits. He needed help.
Stop it. Get some help.
Going back to the 2011 draft,
With the 15th pick in the 2011 NBA Draft, the Indiana Pacers select Kawhi Leonard from San Diego State.
Pacers had Kawhi Leonard in their hands, but traded him on draft night. They had a chance to pair 2 of the best two-way players in the league, but instead, he was winning Finals MVP with the Spurs. Paul George was fed up with the lack of team success and how the front office dealt with his teammates.
They just moving them. I'm waking up, getting messages like, hey, this person's traded this person.
That's how we was in Golden State.
It's cool. I ain't in the front office. That ain't my job. That's their job. But let me know, please. Like, fast forward to the moment where we do this game. I get interviewed, still saying I want to be here. This is my home.
But still, he wanted a Kobe-like career and bring multiple championships to Indiana. That was until he started hearing his name in trade rumors.
So that was like strike 1s and 2s. And now when I hear my name in trade talks, that's strike 3. Now I'm like, man.
He found a new home with the Thunder, teaming up with another star in Russell Westbrook and Carmelo Anthony. It wasn't a long stay for him, but he played almost 80 games in each of the 2 seasons he was there. And in 2018, statistically, it was his most dominant year. We saw the best version of Paul George. His season was that good, it put him in a class with Michael Jordan for single season stats. They're the only two to average 28 points, 8 rebounds and 2 steals. Being selected on the All-NBA and defensive first teams, along with the steals leader, he was in contention for MVP. In the end he finished third. To be honest, he was never really going to win it with the ridiculous seasons Harden and Giannis had, but it was still impressive and a huge achievement, especially dealing with an injury that looked like he was never going to be the same again. After career highs for PG, another low would come, and it was in the playoffs. It was far from what was expected. They failed to win a playoff series.
That the OK3 season is over. Utah advances to take on Houston.
And got bounced in the first round twice.
Lillard, a chance to send the Thunder home. Lillard, long-range three, and it's good! At the buzzer!
I mean, that's a bad shot. That's a bad shot. It was a bad shot.
After that, he decided to request a trade and wanted to go home to LA. Some call it fate or destiny. The Clippers managed to do what Indiana didn't and pair Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. To be fair, at the time they built the roster close to perfect, or what seemed perfect on paper. They had 2 superstars and really good surrounding players with depth at every position. They were favourites to win the title, and in the regular season they didn't disappoint, finishing second in the West in a condensed COVID season. Heading to the bubble, they took care of Luka and the Mavs and started hot against Denver. But we all know they lost a 3-1 lead.
That's a choke job!
The next year, Kawhi got injured halfway through the second round, tearing his ACL, which looked like it was over for the Clippers. So Paul George decided to pack his bag and carry a little, averaging 30 a game without Kawhi. He took the Clippers to their first ever conference finals appearance, but sadly losing to the Suns in 6. Some time after Paul George's horrific injury, we knew what player he was. And in a game this year, how ironic, it was against the Thunder, he showed us he was still capable of this.
Clippers by 1 coming out of the timeout. 4:25 to play.
As of recent, it was looking like another terrible injury. And of course, this was right before the playoffs, which he did miss, but luckily it wasn't as bad as it seemed. This upcoming season may be the last real chance for a championship. He's 33, so age isn't on his side, plus PG and Kawhi both have player options at the end of the season. It's hard to see them leaving, but you never really know. James Harden made it clear he wants a trade to the Clippers and could be paired up with the duo. Let me know what you think down below and how you think the Clippers will go with or without Harden. Overall, Paul George has been an 8-time All-Star with multiple All-NBA and defensive team selections. He's had a successful career individually, but yet to make the finals and gain any major team success. It is a major credit to him for bouncing back better after his injury. And we wonder, what if he never did get injured? Could he have been, or should he still be a part of the top 75 team? Let me know down below. Always thank you for watching. Oh, and without further ado...